What's good, everybody? It's Bro Hamza, and today, guys, I'm coming to you with a brand new combo tutorial. But before we get into that, guys, I'd like to invite every single one of you to go ahead and check out all our socials down below. That's the Instagram, that's the TikTok, and that's the Twitter, because I am going to be doing a giveaway very soon, and you guys have to be following those accounts in order to be entered. And of course, guys, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you have not already, guys, because I am uploading content a lot more consistent, like I said before. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into the video. Alright, guys, so starting off with the first combo, and a lot of the one card combo, guys, are going to facilitate over Kashtira Unicorn. I won't go too in depth into what their effects are because I am going to be releasing a deck profile where I talk a lot more about them. But anyways, we start off by going Kashtira Unicorn. Because we control no monsters, we can special her onto the field. She has an effect where once per turn you can add one Kashtira spell from your deck to your hand. So this is going to go ahead and add us Kashtira Papyias, Papyrus, whatever you want to call it. This card specifically states you can target one Kashtira monster you control, and then special summon one Kashtira monster with a different attribute from your deck. So it has to be a non-win Kashtira monster. So we go ahead, we target it, we activate Papyias. This essentially goes ahead and allows us to special summon Fenrir, which is another super broken card in the deck. We activate Fenrir's effect here, and Fenrir says once per turn you can add one Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand. For those, of course, who didn't know what the effect did, Fenrir will go ahead and add us Kashtira Riseheart. And then from here, what we go ahead and do is we go ahead and proceed to special summon Riseheart because we control a Kashtira monster. Again, not activate effect, you just special summon it, but just note that you are locked. So right here it says also you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except XYZ monsters, which honestly it doesn't matter, as you guys will see. We're only really summoning XYZ monsters anyways. But from here we go ahead and we overlay into our Kashtira Shangri-La. Now again, the zone placement doesn't matter, but I do think that summoning in the extra monster zone is a little better in a sense, just because it's like one more zone you technically block out of your opponent from playing, and then again you clear space well. But yeah, anyways, from here we go ahead and we activate Kashtira Riseheart's effect on field. What he says is if this card is normal or special summon this turn, you can banish one Kashtira card from your deck except itself, of course. Then you banish the top three cards of your opponent's deck face down, and if you do, this card's level becomes 7. And you guys will understand why I'm doing that very shortly. So we go ahead, we use Kashtira Riseheart effect. He will go ahead and banish the Big Bang, and then of course it'll banish the 3 cards off the top of our opponent's deck. And then this will go ahead and trigger 2 chain links. It'll trigger chain link 1 to be our Shangri-La and chain link 2 to be our Big Bang. So I'll explain it like here right now. So Big Bang has the effect where he says if this card is banished, you can target one Kashtira XYZ monster you control, add one of its material, one of its Kashtira monster material, and add it to your hand, and then you can choose to special summon from your hand. Now this is important because Kashtira has a Macrocosmos card that says any card sent to the graveyard gets banished instead, where Big Bang basically overwrites it or goes through it, because it says if this card becomes banished, you can target one Kashtira monster, add it to your hand. So instead of detach and add, it adds directly to your hand. But yeah, this will go ahead and we'll go ahead and detach our Fenrir, because honestly in my opinion Fenrir is the better monster to have on the board. This will go ahead and special summon out our Fenrir. And then Shangri-La's effect says each time a card your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down, you can choose one unused main monster or spell and trap card zone. It cannot be used while this monster is face up on the field. If this card would be sort of a battle or card effect, you can just attach on whatever. But this will go ahead and trigger Shangri-La. Shangri-La will go ahead and will lock a zone out of our opponent's field. And then since we activated Shangri-La this turn, which a Riseheart says, once per turn, if Kashtira Shangri-La, that's gonna throw me off, activated its effect this turn, you can also XYZ summon by using one Kashtira monster and whatever. And then its main effect is any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Once per chain, each time a card is banished, attach one banished card to this card as a material once per turn. Quick effect, you can detach 3 materials, target one card on the field, banish face down. Now this is pretty good in a lot of instances. One, of course, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Now that's absolutely ridiculous. But the other effect says once per turn, each time, or once per chain, sorry, not once per turn, once per chain, each time a card is banished, attach one banished card to this card as material. So it says one banished card, so it can equip Big Bang. It can also equip your opponent's monsters or any of their cards as well. So it's pretty good there. And then of course you have the disruption. But essentially what this is now during our standby phase, we can go ahead and use Shangri-La. We can summon another Unicorn, where Unicorn says is when this card declares attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, look at your opponent's extra deck and banish one monster from it face down. These banishes will be able to trigger Shangri-La as well. So not only will we have a Unicorn and a Fenrir on board, we'll just keep on banishing and keep locking our opponent's boards, because this is not a once per turn. Each time a card your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down, you can go ahead and do it. All of these cards basically work with each other and just help you banish it. But that's the first combo, guys. Now let's get into the second one. Now we are onto the second one, and in my opinion, I feel like this is the better one card combo. But again, you can kind of just pick and choose the way you want to go. That's the beauty of this deck. But again, from here we special summon out our unicorn. Unicorn will go ahead and add us our Papyias to hand. Again, these lines and a lot of the plays, they're very similar, and that's what makes the deck very powerful. But from here we go Papyias. Papyias will go ahead and summon out our Fenrir from deck, and then from here Fenrir will go ahead and search our Rise Art right to our hand, and then from here we can special summon Rise Art whenever we want, as long as we have a Kashtira monster. So we overlay into Shangri-La, put in the zone, special summon out our Rise Art, and then use Rise Art's effect to banish the Big Bang, and then Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2 again. So it's very important right here, Chain Link 1 and Chain Link 2. So Big Bang will go ahead and go, we'll get Fenrir again. It doesn't actually detach and get sent to the graveyard, just remember that. It adds directly to your hand and then special summon. Dueling Book is just really weird where you can't do that because that's not a mechanic that's kind of in Yu-Gi-Oh! But basically it adds to your hand, so it goes over the card, it bypasses it. So from here we go ahead and special up the Fenrir, and then of course Shangri-La will go ahead and lock a zone out from our opponent. Cool. From here we go ahead and proceed to overlay into our Diablosis, the Mind Hacker. Now this card is probably going to be banned because of what it does with Kashtira. It's absolutely insane. So basically from here, go ahead and special summon out our Mind Hacker. Mind Hacker will trigger to detach. Mind Hacker says is once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, look at your opponent's extra deck, and banish one monster from it face down. Okay, cool. That's one effect. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroys a monster by battle, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it face down. Cool, another effect. But this is the effect that's a little broken. If a card your opponent owns and banishes, owns and possesses is banished face down while you control this card, where'd it go? While it controls this card, you can go ahead and banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck face down equal to their face down banish card. Cool. So right now your opponent has 3 face down banish cards because of Rise Art, I believe. Yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and use Diablos as the Mind Hacker, detach, and rip another one. So now that's 4 banished. This will go ahead and trigger our Shangri-La to actually lock out another zone from our opponent. And then when that goes ahead and happens, this will trigger Diablosis, the Mind Hacker's effect again, which essentially will be able to banish more cards. So then we'll basically be banishing 4 again, and then this will trigger Shangri-La again. So from here we go ahead and we end up locking out 3 of our opponent's zones just like that off of a 1-card combo. And then during our opponent's standby phase, we go ahead and special summon out our Fenrir, because that's like the easiest one to do when your opponent activates a monster effect. Target one face up card your opponent controls, banish it face down. So from here we go ahead and we summon out our monster, and then we continue to play the game, right? When they use a monster effect, we'll trigger Fenrir. Fenrir will go ahead and banish a card face down. From here, this will trigger Shangri-La to go ahead and banish a card, and then this will also trigger Diablosis, the Mind Hacker, to go ahead and banish a card. Then of course, when it happens again, guys, Shangri-La will go ahead and trigger again to block another zone out, and then we'll just lock all of our opponent's zones. And just note as well, is this card is constantly banishing the top card of our opponent's deck face down. So it's like 4 before, it becomes 8, and then when 8 they do it again, it becomes 9, and then you banish 9 more, so it becomes 18. So we go ahead and banish about 18 cards from the top of our opponent's deck before they even get to do anything, and we lock out 5 cards of zone. Of course, this is an optimal combo, but this is just one of the better 1-card combos I thought I'd like to show you guys. Now let's get on to the next combo. Pause it here. 75.6% of you guys are not yet subscribed, but if you're watching my video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because what are you doing? You're gonna miss some crazy content. Let's get back to the video. So now we're getting onto the 2-card combos, which are some of the juicier combos that this deck can produce. So this one, again, we are going to be starting off with Kashtira Unicorn and Kashtira Papyias. Again, we go ahead and we special summon out the Unicorn. Unicorn will go ahead and add us a spell, which is going to get us Kashtira Birth. Now, Kashtira Birth says you can normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing. That's a continuous effect. And then during your main phase, you can special summon one of your non-XYZ Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Then it has another effect that says if your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control Kashtira monster, target 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard and banish them face down. But again, note that this has to target 3. It's not up to 3 like the Ishizu cards. But yeah, we add Birth to our hand. From here, what we do is we go ahead and activate Papyias. Like I said before, this is very, very cognizant or whatever, reminiscent of like the first combos. From here, we go ahead and summon out our Fenrir. Fenrir will go ahead and add us our monster, which is Rise Art. Cool. From here, we go ahead and continue our play by special summoning out our Rise Art. Like I said before, it doesn't matter when you summon it, but you just have to use the effect after Shangri-La hits the board. From here, we go ahead and use Rise Art's effect to banish the Big Bang. This will trigger Shangri-La. This will trigger Big Bang. Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, like always. Detach Fenrir, get Fenrir, special summon Fenrir. Again, not detach, sorry, just add it to your hand. And then Big Bang will go ahead and do that. And then Shangri-La will go ahead and lock a zone out of our opponent. Cool. From here, because Rise Art becomes a 7, of course, we go ahead and overlay our monsters away. So we overlay into Diablosis the Mind Hacker. Like I said before, this will summon Mind Hacker, we'll detach, we'll rip one out, and then this will go ahead and trigger Shangri-La, and it'll also trigger Mind Hacker. So Shangri-La will go ahead and lock a zone, and then this will also trigger Mind Hacker to do it again. So once Mind Hacker resolves, Shangri-La will go ahead and lock another zone. Then from here, we go ahead and activate Kashtira Birth. Birth says you can special summon one of your Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. So this will go ahead and special summon out the Fenrir that we ended up detaching for the Mind Hacker. And then from here, we go ahead and slam on a Rise Heart because we did use Shangri-La's effect. Now, Rise Heart says once per turn, again, I've explained it before, and I'll tell you guys how insane this is, how easy it is to summon. If Kashtira Shangri-La activated its effect this turn, you can also XYZ summon Kashtira Rise Heart by using a Kashtira monster control, transfer all the materials. Now again, from here, it's very, very standard what happens again. During the standby phase, Shangri-La will go ahead and summon out like a Fenrir or something or anything, things of that nature. And then we go ahead and just proceed from locking our opponent out from playing the game. And then a Rise Heart will constantly be getting resources and management and everything like that. So it gets very, very potent very, very quickly. Yeah, but now let's get on to the next combo. Again, guys, now we are getting into another 2-card combo where this one is Kashtira Unicorn and Kashtira Fenrir, just to show you different lines of the combos. Unicorn will go ahead and trigger here to get us our Kashtira Birth. The reason why we get Birth and not Papyias is because we have the Fenrir in our hand. So from here, we go ahead and we activate the Birth. This allows us to normal summon our Fenrir without tributing, because, again, you can normal summon level 7 monsters and Unicorn will special summon. This will go ahead and add us our Rise Heart to our hand. And then from here, we special summon our Rise Heart. Then we do the regular thing where we just overlay our monsters. And then we use Rise Heart's effect. Again, banish the Big Bang, chain link 1, chain link 2. This will go ahead and be able to, again, mill our opponent or banish our opponent and then lock a zone. And then, of course, we detach our Unicorn. Again, it's important to detach Unicorn, as you guys will see later on. But from here, we go ahead and detach, special summon Unicorn. Cool. And then we ended up locking a zone on our opponent. Cool. From here, what we do is we go ahead and actually throw on a Rise Heart early. And then from here, we overlay our monsters into our Raid Raptor Arsenal Falcon. Now, the reason why it's important, like I was saying before, to detach Unicorn is because Unicorn will be banished. But you guys will see what I was talking about. So from here, Arsenal Falcon will go ahead and detach. This will banish our Unicorn. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and special summon out our Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. I know it's super crazy, but again, I'm just gonna see something. Attach one banished card to this. Yeah, so you would have to attach, but it's fine. So from here, it gets banished. This will trigger a Rise Heart to equip Big Bang. I completely forgot to do that, I think. But oh no, I actually didn't forget to do it. But yeah, we go ahead and we equip it onto it like this. Cool. And then from here, we go ahead and activate Birth, and then Birth will be able to special summon out Unicorn because it is a wind monster. So from here, guys, you end up with a Macro Cosmos, a Rise Heart, and you get one spin back because you can detach 3 materials from this card, and he has 3 already, so you get 1 free protection on Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. He's a Macro Cosmos. You still have a banish here. You still have this guy to be annoying. He's a big body as well. So yeah, that's it for the 4th combo, I think. Now let's get into the last combo. Alright guys, so now this is the 5th and final combo, and this is probably the best combo. A lot of players say it's the best combo, and you guys will see as we continue. But from here, yeah, it's Kashtira Unicorn and Scareclaw Kashtira. I'll explain Scareclaw Kashtira once it happens. Yeah, these cards are getting tricky, but from here we go Unicorn. Unicorn gets us Papyias. Papyias will go ahead and activate to summon out our Fenrir, of course. And then from here we go ahead and use Fenrir. Fenrir will go ahead and add our Rise Heart to our hand. Cool. From here, what we do is we go ahead and proceed to overlay our monsters into Shangri-La. Again, everything is very consistent of what we do from these combos. We use Rise Heart, banish the card, and then banish the 3, and then lock our opponent out of the game. Or not out of the game, sorry, but yeah, you just lock our opponent out. Cool. Detach, special summon, yada, yada, yada. It's all very standard from what it does. We lock a zone out. Cool. From here, what we do is we go ahead and we special summon out Scareclaw Kashtira by banishing a Kashtira or Scareclaw card from our graveyard. Now, essentially, the reason why this is important is not only is this guy an extender, but Papyias has an effect that specifically states if this card becomes banished, you can target one of your banished cards and add it to your hand. From here, we go ahead and we add our Big Bang into our hand. Now, the reason why Big Bang is important is this card says, if a Kashtira XYZ monster is on the field, make both players banish monsters from their field face down so they control only one. Think about that. So they control only one. So if your opponent's about to make a big push, you literally activate Kashtira Big Bang, clear their whole board, and then you can choose like what monster you want to stay, what monster you want to keep, and it gets very, very bothersome from here. From here, we go ahead and we throw on a Rise Heart, and then from here, we go ahead and overlay our monsters away into Diablosis, the Mind Hacker. Diablosis will detach. It'll trigger Shangri-La to go ahead and banish. It'll trigger a Rise Heart as well, so a bunch of chain links will happen. Rise Heart will go ahead and equip Papyias onto it. cool. And then this will go banish, so we'll go ahead and get rid of a monster, and then this will go ahead and trigger Diablosis again, banish again, it'll trigger this guy as well, and then of course it triggers a Rise Art as well, I believe, once per chain. Yeah, so it'll trigger a Rise Art to equip basically Unicorn onto it. But yeah, so now we go ahead and we basically end with 3 zones. We lock our opponent out of 3 zones. Okay, we still have the same generic garbage that this card does, where Standby Face Summon Fenrir. We still have Mind Hacker, who's going to rip more cards out of our opponent's deck. And then we have the Rise Art with the spin. And then worst case scenario, we have the Trap card, which the Trap card says, again, like I said before, if a Kashtira XYZ monster is on the field, make both players banish monsters from their field face down so they only control 1. And we have 2 of these. So technically speaking, you wait for your opponent to commit, you nuke their board, banish it, they only keep 1, you lock out the last zone, Rise Art banishes this, you lock out the final zone, and that's it. But yeah, guys, those are the 5 combos that I think are very crucial to know. And yeah. So guys, that was the end of the video. If you guys liked the video, please go ahead and leave a like on the video. If you made it this far, comment down Psychic. That's PSYCHIC, I think. But go ahead and comment down Psychic, guys. Let me know that you guys made it to the end of the video. And without further ado, guys, my name's Hamza. Like I always say, keep on shining, never give up on your dreams. Peace.